Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcast presents The Sexperts.
Beep, 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 beep. Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Got it to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording and intro music, and hi there, welcome to The Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, Antifa board salesman and installer.
Did you say Antifa board?
Yes.
As an anti-fascist?
Yes.
Explain this. I don't know what this is, Delilah. I'm sorry.
Well, when you grew up, they might have been known as diving boards for swimming pools.
Yeah.
But thanks to the fascist insurance industry, not many people have them anymore. But I am part of an underground organization that installs insurance-free diving boards on the pools that otherwise wouldn't have them because of the man standing in the way of children having fun.
What? This is so complex. I don't know.
As Flavor Flav said, fight the power.
Okay. All right. Well, you do you, I guess. That's throw up my hands at you do you. All right. So welcome to The Sexperts. We don't normally talk about anti-fascist diving boards. We normally talk about sex, and that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to do today, tomorrow, yesterday. As they say, yesterday was history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today's a gift, baby. It's nothing like the present.
Yep, 369 days a year.
Those extra 4 days are for lovemaking, baby. All right. So we're coming to you every week from a different location with a different topic. Right now, we're coming to you actually from one of your swimming pools in Bakersfield, California. Bakersfield, California, the home of Korn, the band Korn, fronted by Jonathan Davis.
This pool was actually funded and built by the band Korn. It's called the Cornhole.
The old swimming hole, the old.
It's less funny. It's less funny when you see it with the K. But you say it out loud, it's kind of funny.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about our topic of the week, which I will get our guest in here in just a little bit, but I feel like maybe we've done this, maybe we haven't, but let's just go for it. Today we're going to talk about Doggie Style, but for cat lovers, because some cat lovers just abhor dog anything. They're like, I don't want a dog. I only like
I'm not
cats.
a dog person.
I'm not a dog person. Well, there is no kitty position. Okay, we're going to tell you that right now. There's no cat style sex. Okay.
Hey, mark this down for a future show topic.
Yeah.
Doggo style.
Oh God, I do not want to. Millennials. All right. So we're going to talk about doggy style for cat lovers in just a hot second. But let's get to our guest. Hi there. Welcome.
Hello there. Hey, glad to be here.
Let's see. Let's introduce yourself, because I think you're fasting. I helped book you this week.
I know nothing about you.
Delilah knows nothing about you, but go ahead and tell us what your name is and what you're all about.
Well, my name is Ron Cheadle. No relation to the wonderful actor Don Cheadle. We get those confused a lot.
Oh.
And so Ron Cheadle, and I am intergenerational pole vaulting coach.
Intergenerational. How does that work?
Well, I thought it was going on to honestly being anti-fascist. Just to bring that back. The fascism of hierarchies, the fascism that everybody has to only play against, the same thing. We have to divide people. I said, why not bring things together?
Whoa.
You got the grandkids doing the pole vaulting on the collegiate level, which is what I coach.
Yeah.
You got their grandparents in the stands. Why not bring the grand folks down and have them pole vault with the grandkids? It's a family event. It's like field day. There's a reason for them to be there. And I just tell you, those geezers, they just eat it up.
So I want you to tell Delilah about this because again, he knows nothing about this, but tell him about. No, this sounds kind of goofy, but it actually brings people together. Is when they say they pole vault together, they mean they pole vault together. Tell Delilah about this.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, when we first started it, we realized very quickly that the grandparents were not so good on their own.
Yeah.
So if you just gave them a pole and said, "Hey, get over this other pole," they mostly hurt themselves. So what we do is we take 2 poles, which we then connect to another pole, and then the grandchild's on the one pole, the grandparents on the other pole, and the 2 of them, like a beautiful intergenerational rainbow, they sail into the sky together, and then they come down, and they don't win any prizes because it's collegiate, but they have a good time, and that's how we solved that. I mean, and it's really worked phenomenally.
Yeah. And
That's
there's
amazing.
there's been several iterations I saw in Sports Illustrated, kind of the evolution of this. That's how it works out now. But if you remember the Empire Strikes Back of the Star Wars sets of movies, where Luke had Yoda on an old backpack, they actually tried out a version of that where they strapped the grandkids to the grandparents' backs. And you had people falling out of backpacks. It was just a mess, a bloody mess.
There was a whole series of backpack related incidents. The first one was when we put the kids on the grandparents, but we forgot, wait a minute, the kids are actually a lot bigger than the grandparents. So the extra weight didn't help grandma and grandpa. They would half the time get impaled whenever they would go, just from the sheer weight of the 150-pound grandchild now slamming into their frail, old, decrepit body, just blood and guts and bones and antacid juice just spewing everywhere. So then we said, okay, that didn't work. After the first 3 or 4 deaths, we were like, that's it. So we then went and we said, what if we flip it? Right?
Yeah.
So we got the kids with the grandparents on the back.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Nary an event went by when that grandparent, due to various levels of incontinence, was not already causing the grandchild, to viciously throw them off and say, "Grandpa, why are you doing this to me? You're embarrassing me in front of all these people." And that started, even when that didn't happen, the grandparents were not good at strapping themselves in properly. So they would get to it and they would sail. I'm talking, they would take flight 50, 60, 70 yards, way past the point where they have that little, the spongy thing. I should know the name of that, but the part where you land, the landing pad, not in the landing pad. It was worse than the impaling. It was like arms would go this way, hips would go that way. It was really tragic.
Yeah, and it's so crazy, Delilah. I know you don't know a whole lot about this, Delilah, but strap in. The reason why you don't know a lot of the traditional terms where you have to call it the spongy thing or the landing pad is you got to pole vaulting originally in a very strange, non-traditional way. Why don't you tell us, tell old Delilah here what that's all about?
Well, I guess it's certainly non-traditional now. I wasn't always a very good pole vaulter. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I started by being actually terrible at it. I wasn't successful.
Yeah.
And then the accident. And actually, pardon me right now. Oh God. So this actually, here I am talking about it. My pants just fell down. See, the issue is I have a condition called inverted hips. And it's very rare, but it's related. So even if I'm seated, like at Thanksgiving, my pants will not stay up. They will just fall. So they just fell right now. In fact, I'm having a hard time keeping them up.
Oh, okay.
It's due to my inverted hips. However, silver linings. Inverted hips allow me to create so much rotational torque that although I cannot keep pants up, if I can keep them up long enough to get to the pole vaulting line,
Yeah.
man, I sail.
You sail.
And I sail.
Are we talking flying?
I'm talking flying. I'm talking 5G, X-Wing,
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. I know this story, and I found this fascinating when I was reading through. Again, this was like a War and Peace size like edition of Sports Illustrated, all devoted to this champion right here. I found it so crazy that you started your own brand called Sail. That's kind of your catchphrase, is Sail. And I think Imagine Dragons has that song. But you have the word sail, and then actually a sailing company sued you for the rights to use the word sail because, you know, you can kind of think of, you know, sail traditionally, you know, has to do with sailing. But you were like, no, you put your foot down. You said, that's my catchphrase, and you owned it.
Breitling are a bunch of assholes.
Breitling, is that who it was?
Yes. Breitling, those sons of bitches. Every year they think, oh, America's Cup. We're the big sailing thing, and we're going to put our things up everywhere. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah, I got into. Also, I have to warn you.
Yeah.
Don't say sail like the Imagine Dragons song. There has been litigation.
I need to correct both of you. It's AWOL Nation.
Wait, who? What do you mean?
AWOL Nation is the song.
What? It's not Imagine Dragons? Okay.
No.
Well, Delilah, who gives a fuck? Let the guy tell his story. Good
Well,
Lord.
we have the legal department called. They were listening.
We did. We kind of did our own like version of like Vanilla Ice taking the riff from Queen, and we called it A Pole Nation, and we tried to make it about Paul.
A Pole Nation?
That's where the litigation started. It was a year.
I think that's called Poland.
It was. That was our backup. But yeah, so I try to stick away from the Imagine Dragons, but you know, Breitling are not good people.
Yeah.
We tried to start our own, you know, sale. We actually we came up with, we had lots of legal trouble. We also then tried to start, oh my God, our own like little like online community college. But then the people at Full Sail, they got wind. And they were like, you can't call it full, and like we're calling it Pole Sail. Why can't we just call it Pole Sail University, where you go online and you take only online courses about pole vaulting, so that you really get deep into the theory?
I think that's the best way to learn pole vaulting. Is
the only way to learn, Delilah. It's the only way to learn. You don't want to get out on a field. You want to get in your head.
I hate to interrupt you, but we have not talked about our topic at all. But we're talking about doggy style for cat lovers. But I just had to ask you. I just had to point this out. I'm sorry to bring this up. I want to ask you about the topic, but your pants. I'm sorry, they fell down again. I can see everything.
They did. Yes, the inverted hips, or IHS. Inverted hip syndrome, as we like to call it, is a real issue.
Oh yeah, I can see.
It has its silver linings, but you know, people, they will, you know, we don't want to make fun of disabilities, right? We want to think of them as abilities.
We want disabled people to sail, to fly.
We do, and we want them to do it with dignity.
Yeah,
with a compassionate heart.
Talk about okay, I hate to bring this up, but I hear the frustration, the anguish in your voice. Talk about kind of your biggest challenge or the worst time where somebody's like called you out for having inverted hip syndrome or IHS, or maybe a bad time in your life where you were, you know, persecuted.
I worked at a KFC. I worked my way through high school at a KFC.
You paid your way through high school.
Yes.
High school tuition for private school, man. Come on.
You have to know everyone who's in pole vaulting comes from private school.
Yeah.
I would have thought you had a pole vaulting scholarship, but it shows what I know.
I hadn't realized my gift. I only saw it as a curse.
Yeah.
The act just happened. So here I was there, and my hips would make a clicking sound.
Oh.
Oh,
So they would make fun of me and they would call me click, 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 because it was KFC.
Oh,
And I
like
said,
cluck. But that's cluck, though. That doesn't even make sense. Kids are so cruel. Kids are so cruel.
these cruel little bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with their Breitling watches. These are not nice kids. Okay. And I was traumatized and I said, never again should we let difference divide us.
Mm.
That's why I said, not only, am I going to continue pole vaulting?
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way through some strange physics and physiology and anatomy.
Yeah.
Otherwise what I would come to find was the rotational torque that I could achieve. When I really mounted myself in the correct way. And when I get out there and I mount, let me tell you, the rotational torque of thrusting that happens is majestic and also intimidating,
Yeah.
But then I realized, reach it out. Don't just, who else? I thought to myself, Ron, what does Ron Cheadle need to bring into the world? He needs to think about other people with bad hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grandparents. Boom. Thus, the legend was born.
And I have to, first off, my condolences. I know this is a sad time for you. You were mentored. Somebody took under their wing, literally, one of the franchise owners of the KFC that you worked at also had inverted hip syndrome, and he recently passed away. So I'm my condolences about your coach who coached you, and now you're a coach as well.
Absolutely. Ron Cheadle. No relation.
Yeah, that's weird that you're not related to Don Cheadle, the actor, or Lon Cheadle, your coach and mentor. That is weird.
Is it weird? I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
But, he was a giant. Not physically. He was only about 4 feet tall, which is why he was, again, my inspiration, because people looked at him and said, you can't pole vault. You can't pole vault because you're not tall enough. You're not skinny enough. Your feet don't point the right way. All the typical stuff that you say to someone. And he proved that you gotta just not listen to the haters.
No.
That's the most important lesson. We got to celebrate difference, not listen to the haters. Don't let the fascism of tyrannical expectations keep us from achieving our dreams.
Good Lord. Yeah. That was the last page
honestly
I read.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and I say it all the time. That's really a big part of my diving board sales pitch.
Listen, I don't want to talk about diving boards. I want to talk about, because you have a very great, fascinating perspective on a lot of stuff because of your disability and your hips. I want to hear what your take on Doggie Style, but for cat lovers is. So,
I do too, but real quick, because this is something personal.
Yeah.
I'm estranged from my father.
Oh.
From my grandfather.
Whoa.
And from my son.
Delilah.
And from my grandson.
Delilah.
And they're all estranged from each other as well. So it's just a massive estrangement. Would this intergenerational pole vaulting, would that hold like maybe some promise to like maybe reunite us?
Good question. And
what, like, could I bring them all somewhere where we could participate in this and maybe reconcile?
Yeah.
This is literally why we created next month's event. We're all meeting in Salt Lake City because the Mormons love pole vaulting.
Really?
Yes, they do. They say you get closer to Jesus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sense.
Is that why they high five midair?
Yes, exactly. That's called a Christ five.
A Christ five.
Yes, no, we are having a get together, an entire conference for estranged relatives to use the power of the vault.
And the power of Christ.
Yes, well, that's optional. You will have an option, but again, we're about diversity. So you can use it, but you don't have to. So other people that don't practice the Christian religion can also come there. And yes, you can Christ 5. I get the question all the time. You don't have to be Christian. Mm-hmm. It's not like taking communion in Catholic Church. But you're going to get there. I'm telling you, Delilah, I have lots of connections. I have connections with investigative journalists, private investigators, the FBI, CIA.
Do you do recruiting? Because if I call my estranged grandfather, father, son, and grandson, they're not going to answer my calls. But maybe if your people could call them and get them to Salt Lake City,
oh my God,
we could do this thing.
I'm going to ask you a question here. I mean, think about it. How many grandparents and grandkids would voluntarily show up to do pole vaulting
in Salt Lake City? I don't know. I mean, if they heard your pitch, they'd probably go. But.
Anywhere, right. The reality is I kind of set it up.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah. No, the way I get these events together, the typical process is they don't know that this is what they're going to do.
Oh, it's a bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch.
What's the bait?
Give me the bait. What's the bait?
The bait is time with your grandchild that won't even give you a thank you card for the $20 you gave him at Christmas.
That's not going to really sway my grandson.
Yeah, like a monster truck rally. That'd be
my grandfather
bait.
hates me.
Monster truck rally.
All you can eat Chinese buffet.
New Star Wars movie.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly. So
drink a free upsize at Wawa, the coffee bar.
All you can eat buffet, old country.
You know what, guys? I think that you need to be on our marketing team.
I would love that.
These ideas are going to bring the families to the yard.
Listen, Ron, we have to get to our talk of the day only because I have a special surprise because we're talking about Doggie Style. But for cat lovers, I actually have worked with the SPCA, the local SPCA, and I have a whole kennel full of puppies. Go ahead, Mildred, and release them. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, hold on. Okay, Mildred, put it in. Oh, sorry. These are, oh God. Oh, they spilled coffee all over. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, they're shitting all over. Oh, fuck. Why did I do this? This is fucking garbage. Oh, God. I hate dogs. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. I think my equipment is all fucked up. God damn it. Okay. I'm sorry. That's all the time we have for today. God, I wanted your perspective on dog. Fuck. Get the dogs away from me, Mildred. No. Okay. Sorry. Ron, we're going to have to cut this short. I'm so sorry, but it was lovely talking to you. And I know you have an event to run. So is there anything else that you want to plug or put out into the world besides the intergenerational Utah?
Yes. Our event in Utah, we will be reaching out. We'll reach out to you, Delilah. And we will get this working. We will get you reunited with your estranged family. Whether they want it or not, because that's what we are here to do. We bring families together, period.
I love that because there's just a lot of estrangement going on. And,
no more division. There will be no more division.
I'm sorry.
People are estranged
we have to go.
when you're in a stranger.
We have to go. Okay, that's it. That's all the time we have for the Sexperts. I'm sorry. It was this dumb. Never work with animals or kids. Okay. All right. So that's it for the Sexperts. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
I'm Delilah. Hey there, and hit that pool head first like an American.
We'll see you sex time.
Go pole vaulting.
Not have to do it simply true. We're the Sexperts.
Thanks so much for listening to the Sexperts podcast that go on podcast production. If you like what you heard and you want to keep this little show going, then please consider donating at paypal.me/sexpertspodcast or donate $1 a month at patreon.com/sexpertspodcast.